About the delay. She hung up. You just gotta see it. This is how it used to be back in the I don't know. It makes me think that this channel isn't real. That these people consistently, so I gotta call 211 again. I've already been on hold and she hung up. So here's the thing, I've already called. The reason why they're acting like this, it's deliberate. It's not on accident. So they don't want me reporting things that are deliberate. With the Attorney General, it's deliberate. That's why I can't get assistance. Someone has already paid for the problem. So if they paid for the problem, they're not giving me any resolution to the problem purposely created. They are fully aware of these crimes going on, all these glitches, and they know that I'm not getting monetized properly. That's why if you go back to those videos, the chat was disabled. It's on purpose. So knowing full blown, well, no one would ever believe my stories because I have to record it. I have already stated this. Who's going to want to believe that someone's controlling you get monetized on YouTube? I already have videos where the chat was disabled. They don't behave. They don't hang up in your face trying to report a poisonous snake if it wasn't planned. So years of this, problems created, and then they make it impossible to get a solution to the problems purposely created. So let me call 211 again. I told her one moment I just wanted to record, and then when I said okay, then she hung up. So I'm calling again to try. Look at how long I've been trying to get things resolved this morning. But this is just not this morning. It's years. Yes, the last representative hung up. Okay. So I'm having issues doing the online application for the food stamps, and I've had issues years. But I'm having problems doing the online application for the food stamps and the renewal. And I like assistance with that. Are you able to assist me?
No, ma'am. I can connect you to the benefits department. What is your zip code?
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So you're 211, and they walked me through prior on technical issues and issues I was having prior. But now you can't do it? Did you plan the issue?
Did I plan what? I'm sorry?
Did you plan the issue? Because it doesn't make sense that they already assisted me with other issues, but now you're refusing to do it?
My department is information and referral, which you have selected. I'm unable to help you with any of your benefits. The option you needed to have for state benefits would have been option 2.
Okay, well, if you can get me to the right department, ma'am, years of this, if I can just speak with the department that can help me with the crimes going on and not cover for them like I've experienced years, that would be great. So I have problems doing the application. Ma'am, I'm just trying to make sure I get the right department. I'm having problems doing the renewal, and I'm having problems doing picking the program, adding food stamps.
May I have your zip code, please?
So she transferred me back into the queue to the same thing.
Services certification, CHIP perinatal.
You got to see it to believe it.
3038P. Press 2. If you are already receiving CHIP
so this is for insurance.
Medicaid, and need to make a medical or
so here's the thing.
Or pay an enrollment fee.
This is all for insurance.
Press 3. If you need help getting a Texas Health Steps checkup for a child,
so it's deliberate because they created the problem,
or a case manager,
then deprive you of solutions.
If you want more information
I've had to endure this years. It's not on accident.
Free family planning
so they played games and then lied and said it was the wrong avenue. Then she would transfer me back to the right line, and this is only for health coverage.
Haven't received it or want to know your balance.
So what she transferred me to, none of those options fit. It's deliberate. So I have to call back again.
I'll pick a valid option.
Your name's Emma?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what did I call?
This is the Health and Human Services Commission.
Okay, my first name. They're trying to enforce the old address. So I'll give you, is that okay? Because I don't have that address. That's why they're trying to force it as part of her harassment scheme. They know I don't remember that address, so they keep asking me for the older address as a harassment. I don't have rights to stop it. So instead of asking me for my address, they want to ask me for an address they know I don't remember as part of a harassment scheme that I can't stop. So is the information I gave you okay, or are you going to enforce that I give you my old address, even though you did see a current address? You asked me for the current address and I gave you that, then you enforced that I give you the old address. So you need both?
So there is a count.
Yeah, I don't know why. So you're required to get both addresses. You verified the other address, and now you want to verify the older address. You need both addresses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I told you I don't remember. So you need me to investigate the older address for me to get services.
No, that's fine. I can go ahead and update your the address that you just gave me to go for that.
They won't, ma'am. They won't. But if I can tell you why I called, they will not, because it has to be harassment when I call. They won't. I don't have rights. So can we move forward on the reason why I called?
Yes. Can I get your phone number before we go ahead with that?
Yes, so I'm online, and I've had a lot of problems all morning. In fact, all these glitches that I just can't simply get a resolution for. Okay, so I went in there, and then I was told my prior call that I had to go through pick a program to apply for food stamps. But see, the government does not want me to get food stamps, but it's criminal for them to deprive me of my constitutional right out of corruption for them. But no one has informed them of that. So there's multiple conspirators in violating my right to an extreme degree that has been unresolved or no consequences for years. So they concoct all kinds of schemes to deprive me of my services before COVID. So here's the thing. So I went off in there and it said pick a program. She was telling me that I had to go through pick a program to get the food stamps the government doesn't want me to have out of corruption. So then it wasn't there. So my phone lied and said that it was down and no one could pick a program. So then after I re-uploaded that, then it allowed me to pick a program. But now it's having me start all over like I'm never logged in. So how do I go in there and pick a program? All my information, all my social security number, my address is already in there. So what am I supposed to do to be able to apply? I have a renewal I have to do, and I need to apply for food stamps.
Okay.
You're asking me if I'm locked out of my account?
Yes.
No, that's not what I stated, ma'am.
Okay. So you need to apply for SNAP benefits, and they put, I see what you were saying about how they have this notice on here. Okay.
So if I already have a renewal and my social security number and all my information is in there, why is it requiring all that information and I logged in? And I've already supposedly had food stamps. Why doesn't the system realize that? Okay, so now that I'm logged in, because in the renewal, it had all my information in it. So it doesn't make sense. If there's a renewal and it had all my information, why is it forcing me to do everything again? And then supposedly there was already a food stamp case that they wouldn't give me information on. So it should have been, that should have been in the case, but it's not present. What I'm trying to expose is criminal activity with a lot of conspirators and a multitude of felony crimes that have been unaddressed for years. So if I supposedly already had food stamps, and then $1,000 was stolen out of food stamps and there was no consequences for that, why is the government depriving me of my right to food stamps in a crisis, with a lot of things that are going on that they set up?
Okay.
That's violating my constitutional rights to deprive me of services just because they set up the problems.
Okay. So what I can do for you today, I can offer you a complaint.
I just wanted a resolution, ma'am. I mean, thank you for the complaint, but we're still not getting a resolution on what's going the games with the food stamps.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So
my abuser has a problem with me having food, and he should not be able to enlist Health and Human Services to deprive me of it, restaurants, and all kind of other avenues. So we still haven't got a resolution to the problem that's going on with the food stamps and how I apply. I can't apply for the rental assistance because of problems, a whole bunch of other issues and glitches that people need jail sentences for. I never got my stimulus out of corruption. So all this time invested in these games and abuse is sick and sadistic. So I've called you to get down to the bottom of how to apply for food stamps. Can you help me?
Yes, sir, of course.
Okay, thank you.
SNAP benefits, you can go to our website at www.yourtexasbenefits.com.
I'm in there, ma'am. I'm in there already, and I had a case that was supposedly denied, so it should have been in there. So what does the computer, what do they want me to do? Because I'm already logged in. You have all my Social Security information. You have a renewal, and I saw all of my information in there. So I'm not understanding why it wants me to enroll again. And I'm already enrolled. It doesn't make sense.
Let's see here. You haven't applied, correct?
I'm sorry?
You haven't applied for SNAP benefits, correct?
Your Health and Human Services? You don't know if you're Health and Human Services?
No,
Are you Health and Human Services? I've given you my sensitive information. Can you find out?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so the SNAP benefits, I am not seeing anything except for this, it says right here, unused SNAP benefits will be removed on October 3rd. SNAP benefits not used in 9 months are removed under federal rules.
What are you talking about, ma'am? I have no clue what you're talking about.
I'm just placing on hold for just a moment.
You got to get your lie together, ma'am? Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Years of this. Go ahead, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
So I know people didn't believe that I have been trying to be on it, but every single avenue I take, they are there to interrupt and cause conflict. Online, in person, calling, with family members at church, every single avenue, down to the petty of getting paper towels and tissue. So he has rights, I don't. So typically when they set up these problems, they don't offer me resolutions. I have crimes going on with Attorney General, they will not correct, period, at all. Social Security Administration, they will not correct, period. Crimes with the ticket they gave me, obvious criminal activity, they're enforcing it, no resolution for it, period. They are forcing me to pay a ticket for calling 911 to report my daughter's abuse that the police department enforces. The prosecutor, the judge, and the officer all committed crimes. Not reported suspected child abuse is a Class A misdemeanor, in some circumstances a felony. They all cover for it, which is criminal, and wanted to enforce these tickets of me reporting child abuse that the government enforces on 911 when the police were enforcing the crime and depriving me of any investigation or reporting that crime for profit. So they don't offer the resolutions. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So you said you're on the website for the SNAP application, correct?
Yeah, you had a con going on for October 31st, October 3rd, if you don't remove something. If you don't use something you were stating then, and then you got off the line and I asked you what you were talking about?
Yes.
So can you go ahead and state what you were saying if you don't use something?
Okay. So for that, it was, I'll repeat it again. It's your unused SNAP benefits will be removed on October 3rd of 2022. SNAP benefits not used in 9 months removed under federal rules.
What are the benefits, ma'am? I don't know what benefits you're speaking of, ma'am.
Okay. So this was misunderstood letter. Okay. So how you can, on our website, you should be able to apply for the SNAP benefits.
Ma'am, you just said about unused benefits. What are you talking about? October 3rd of 2022, what benefits are you speaking about?
They said the SNAP benefits, let's see here. Did you ever have a Lone Star card?
Ma'am, what are you talking about, ma'am? What in the world? You're saying that my unused benefits October 3rd. What are the benefits?
Yes.
Well, you don't want me to know the benefits that I have?
No, so the SNAP benefits for the food benefits, they said that he had a unused balance.
What is the unused balance, ma'am?
It does not state here. They sent out a letter, let's see, on August 22nd.
The Health and Human Services can't get its story straight. I don't know what's going on, and if you are depriving me of the right to know how much was left on the card, that is a red flag that you're doing something criminal. They just keep covering up for their crimes.
Okay.
And still still covering up for them, they're still making sure that I'm excluded of any benefits and services. So the unused benefits that I've called all this time, now you guys has conned that I had money left on the card that no one has ever told me about to cover for the other crimes you guys have committed. Now there's money on the card, but you don't want me to know how much, and I've already lost it.
Okay, so
Can we escalate to a supervisor to find out how much money was stolen from me again with no consequences? Is there any kind of way that you could tell me how much money was taken that no one has told me about, because people can't get their story straight and commit these felonies over and over again with no consequences? So now I didn't spend the money again off my card, and you don't want me to know how much like they did last time.
okay, yes, ma'am. So I can go ahead and get supervisor on the line for you.
Yes, that way we can find out, and then we can find multiple crimes at one time, ma'am. Multiple.
I'm
Okay.
not finding anything.
Is that odd for you not to be able to find the balance, ma'am? Is that odd for you as your position to not see a balance?
On my end, I'm not seeing anything.
Is that odd for you not to see it? Is that odd? Would you normally have ability to see it?
All I see is this note that they sent out.
I know, but I'm not being heard, ma'am. Do you typically have the ability to see it? So they deliberately have schemes for psychological abuse. It's on purpose, every avenue, everything that you do. So, ma'am, if you don't want me to know if that's a normal thing that for you not to see a balance, I don't have rights, ma'am. Just whatever kind you have going on, just go ahead. So since I uploaded the video and exposed the crime of them not having the SNAP benefits they claimed that I had in the past, now they have to concoct another lie. So the Health and Human Services should not be lying in person and over my phone, as they have been for years. But this is what I had to endure under the radar, with no consequences, even more extreme than this. So what I think's going on? They're embezzling funds out of malice. It's still criminal. So out of malice, multiple different locations are conspirators in embezzlement for profit. It's not that they want it, they just don't want me to have it. But still, these are racking up felony charges that I repetitively try to get consequences for these people and their behavior and insanity. And I just don't seem to be getting heard for years. So I have to speak with all these government officials at all these government businesses that are con artists and scammers that enforce the abuse of my family for profit. So I'll wait to see what con they come up with this time. Am I saying I'm a perfect individual? No, I'm not.
Hello, ma'am?
Hello? Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. So I got a supervisor on the other line. Before I transfer you over, do you have any further questions for me?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you for calling HFD. Please hold while your call is being transferred.
Did you explain to the supervisor what was going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I did. Of course.
Hello?
Hello, my name is Claudia. May I have your name?
It's Kiana.
Okay, I received your concern today. I'm currently researching your case. You're calling regarding that you wanted to apply for the benefits. Did I understand that issue correctly?
No, she said that I had money that I needed to use off the card before October, a certain date, and she had me on all that time, and the con was that you were giving me information on what happened with those benefits and how much I had that was not spent off the card. That was the last con. So I held all this time to figure out how much money was not spent on the card. because I never got anything saying how much I qualified for. On your Texas benefits page is odd. It doesn't have any information on it either. They didn't want me to know how much I qualified for. When I called in, they were even being dishonest about, this work, something that they were requiring me to do. I told them I had a job, but they didn't code it properly. In addition to that, the $1,000 was stolen before that, and no one would investigate that. So how much was on the card that needed to be spent?
Let me go ahead and see because of the notification that they sent, and it's for the.
How long? I thought that you had within a year to use the benefits. It wouldn't have been within a year, so why would they disappear?
You still have benefits on the card?
This is Health and Human Services. I'm asking you.
Okay, let me see. I'm just trying to get information to see what.
You're going to get information. I thought she already gave you that information, but I can hold again, ma'am.
They do go ahead and send out these letters.
You don't want me to know, ma'am, because that's what I was holding on for all that time. I don't want to keep on repetitively have to get letters for some people. Can't get my mail. I don't have rights.
I wouldn't be able to tell you how much money that it has on the card, or if it does have it has money. What it could happen is that if you got PEBT benefits and that there may be still on the card and you still haven't used them, then that's why they went ahead and sent out the expungement letter. To make sure how much amount you have, you do have to call the Lone Star help desk so that they could go ahead and assist you with this information. I wouldn't know how much benefits the card is because we don't take care of the benefits of the amount on the card. It would have to be the Lone Star help desk. This card is just letting you know that, if you do have any benefits in that card, there are going to be expiring those benefits.
Okay, why would she tell me they're expiring? Ma'am, I'm getting... Why would she tell me they're expiring and I don't have any that are expiring?
Okay. Yeah, because they usually send these to people...
Ma'am, what's your name? What's your name?
Claudia.
Okay, Claudia. Why would she tell me that I have benefits that are going to be expunged off if I don't?
I'm not sure why she told you that information.
Are you a supervisor? Are you a supervisor?
I'm from the escalation unit.
Ma'am, are you a supervisor?
No, I'm from the special escalation unit.
So you don't know if I have benefits that were expunged off. You don't know that.
No, we don't. It doesn't show that you have benefits with us, but you're receiving SNAP benefits. But like I'm telling you, if you received the PEBT benefits and you still have benefits,
ma'am, I'm not being heard, ma'am. Because see, what people do when you have power to abuse and you're sadistic, you create a whole bunch of psychological abuse no one would ever believe is occurring. So you have a person spin their wheels hours and countless hours in schemes that you purposely created for emotional distress. So then you have them create a multitude of problems and then deprive you of any ability to solve them out of sadistic behavior. So what I want to do is just concentrate. Do I have benefits that were expunged? I have been trying years to get things resolved, and the government has been doing everything they can for profit to prevent me from increasing or getting anything, accomplishing anything for years for profit. All I'm asking you as a supervisor, was anything expunged? Why, if you're saying that you don't have that information, then we don't have to create a problem that doesn't exist.
Right now, it doesn't show you have benefits. So no, in our system, it doesn't show that you have benefits.
Okay, so she lied and said something was expunged and then wasn't.
Because there's a letter. I'm not sure if you got that letter. Have you gotten the letter?
No, I haven't. I don't understand can't get my mail. I don't have civil rights. So there's a letter, but you're depriving me of any right to know what the letter was regarding. You don't want me to know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying?
Here, if you want me, I could go ahead and read it to you.
Yes,
exactly
please.
The way that they
Please.
sent it out to you.
Yes.
It says, your uninsured SNAP benefits will be removed on 10/3/2022. SNAP benefits not used in the 9 months are removed under federal rules.
They told me it was a year. They can't get their story straight. At first it was a year and now it's 9 months.
That means that if you haven't been using them, like if you don't use them often and you left like a pause, thinking that's what they're
They can't get their lie
just
straight, ma'am. They don't have to. When you're the government, you can rack up felonies. I've been trying to get people their charges, and they haven't received them, ma'am. Okay, so now the con is that I have benefits. It's a mystery. They wouldn't give me information in the past. They never told me. This has already happened. They gave me fraud. They gave me something with just words on it. They didn't want me to know the balance that was expunged. This is the second time this happened. So what am I supposed to do if you guys can't get your story straight and don't have to provide me with any documentation on the lies and crimes that you commit? That should be a right that I have to get information on what has supposedly been expunged. And your supervisor, I'll call, ma'am. I mean, this just ruins my day. One con after another con, emotional distress after another emotional distress for years. So now, out of all this time that I've called, now you guys have concocted that money has been expunged off my card a second time to validate your criminal activity and cover for crimes. Okay, so I can see what other crime they have up there. But while I'm on the line, I'm having trouble getting the food stamp benefits that you guys have been taking bribes to prevent me from getting. And all of this chaos is evidence of it. So how do I apply for the benefits that you guys could keep committing crimes to sabotage my access to?
For you to be able to go ahead and apply for these benefits.
I'm at your Texas benefits, ma'am. I'm at your Texas benefits. And then it says apply. And then it has a renewal, ma'am. Here's the thing, it has a renewal, and it has all my information, my social, all of my information. It has a case number and everything. It does not have the food stamps. It does not say anything about what you're saying. It didn't want me to know how much I got in the past period. It says nothing about that. But it does have that I was denied for Medicaid, but it is denying any information on the food stamps. So online, I tried to report the crimes going on online to the police because it's obvious criminal activity. So it shows how I was denied a Medicaid, but it does not want me to know about the food stamps. And they didn't want me to know about it either. Ma'am, I'm still reporting the crime, and they didn't want me to know about it either because they also wouldn't mail it to me. So when I try to go in there and do, it shows applications. And then when I try to go do the application and the renewals and do it again, it's wanting me to start all over like I never got them. So what's going on? How do I apply if I'm logged in? You have my social security number, my address, and everything. How am I supposed to apply for the food stamps?
What happens is that when they deny your benefits, even though there is an application there where it says all your information, you have to go ahead and submit another application so that they could.
It doesn't show denied, ma'am. It doesn't show anything. But if it wants me to go ahead and go that long route and reapply again, logged in to Health and Human Services, where you're fully aware who I am because you have another case. So instead of making me do it the normal way, which was to just add it and add any additional information, they want me to completely reapply again, social, address, all of it, like I never had got services. Okay, if that's what I'm forced to do, ma'am. So now you can't tell me about the money that's expunged. Can we concentrate on why it does not show that I was denied any evidence of what you're saying? It shows the Medicaid, ma'am, for the Medicaid that was denied. But it shows nothing regarding the SNAP, the amount I got, no letter, no nothing.
Okay. The reason that you had, that they didn't give you benefits last time.
Ma'am, I want to know why I can't see it on the computer, why I can't see it online. Is it a crime being committed? And they don't want me to have any information on the crime, to covering up for a crime and depriving me of any information. I'd like to see what happened with the SNAP in person. Not in person, but on the your Texas benefits. Why is it not there? They have that I was denied for Medicaid. Why is it excluding the SNAP benefits? Because on Medicaid, I applied for the Medicaid at the same time I applied for SNAP.
Okay, like for this one, let me go ahead and see.
Why does it not show me where it was denied on here? Ma'am, I'm not being heard. It's not on here, period. It doesn't show like I even applied for SNAP. And there's a lot of crimes going on, embezzlement and all other crimes. It's still criminal to deprive someone of paid benefits that even though the state paid it. there's already been $1,000 stolen that no one will investigate. Now they're doing it a second time because they got away with it the first time. Is that normal for it to have all the other benefits and then your Texas benefits does not want me to know about the SNAP benefits? Your supervisor, why would it not be in there? What can we do to update my information so it will not exclude the SNAP benefits that crimes are being committed revolving?
There's some information that you're able to see on the system. If it's not visible, you cannot see it on the system. There's some notes that they send out. And
why would they not want me to know what I qualify for, ma'am? That doesn't make sense. So the government does not want me to know what I qualified for in the past? Are they committing crimes? That doesn't make sense. So I'm on your Texas benefits and they're excluding the benefit of food stamps, forcing me to redo it all over like I never got them. There's obvious crimes with the food stamps that no one will investigate. So whatever kind you have going on, ma'am, so I can't know. So you're saying that to only find out, the only avenue that I can find out what was expunged is to call my card, the food whatever it is for the food stamps.
Yes, you need to call the Lone Star Help Desk.
Okay, so you're saying that I have to call the Lone Star Help Desk, and then they can tell me which was expunged off the card. My abuser don't want me to have access to it. So now you guys have concocted it was expunged off October 3rd to cover for other crimes, but also in addition to that, still prevent me from having access to the benefits you've already conned to deprive me out of in the past. So he don't want me having the food stamps. Period. So even though when I figure out why they were expunged, I'm still not going to have access to them because that's what he likes. Because October 3rd already passed. Out of all these calls, no one has informed me of it. He's paid for me not to have them. So now I had them on the card, but they expired expunged October 3rd, further preventing me from the services, the food stamps that I was already deprived of all this time. Okay, ma'am. I don't have rights. So let's see what the other con they have in. So now you have concocted that I have to start all over for the benefits that are not present online. So I have to start all over and reapply, even though that it doesn't show that I ever applied. Start all the way over again. Ruin my day even further, like what has been done years. I can't get any other services. I can't get the stimulus and a multitude of other services. Now I have to start over with this again and try to get this service and see what con you have up again for the third time getting food stamps. Okay, ma'am, let me call and see what additional con they have going on. And I'll start all over from scratch and do this again.
Thank you for calling.
No, ma'am, because I was on hold a long time to see what con they had with how much was expunged and didn't get to the resolution of it. Are you able to report crimes as a supervisor? You heard a lot of criminal activity, and it does say on here that you're able to report fraud, but some kind of way all these people I reported to cover for it. I've reported a lot of criminal activity to you that you are doing nothing with that knowledge. And you're supposed to be able to report fraud. You lock a lot of people up for committing crimes with food stamps. But some kind of way these government officials are not racking up their felonies.
We have a line for
I've already done it, ma'am. It malfunctions, ma'am. I've already tried it. Is there a particular reason why you won't take it in your supervisor?
What do you mean, like take the crime?
Yeah, there's people taking bribes to prevent me from getting my food stamps and can't get their story straight.
I could go ahead and take a complaint if you like. I could go ahead and take a complaint.
They already did it, ma'am, and there's been no response. How long does it take? You don't see the past complaint they already did? It may have been the 25th. I've done multiple, but the latest one may be on the 25th. So what happened?
Let me see. Okay, it was on the 18th. Yeah, it shows here that there was a complaint on the 18th.
Okay. What happened?
Okay, for that complaint for that one, they have a processing time frame for those.
What is that processing time frame, ma'am? Because I've been waiting years and no one has ever called me. I've reported the other crime going on, the $1,000 that were stolen, and then the Health and Human Services couldn't get their story straight. They told me someone spent it off my card when I was in jail on false charges. Then when they got caught in that crime, they concocted that it was abated off. It was never on that card. But if you want to go ahead and go along with that crime, that it was abated off, or expunged off rather, okay, I have no rights. But they blatantly lied to me. So, okay, so it was expunged off. That's another scam that they have concocted. So that got expunged off, and they won't tell me how much. Now another amount has got expunged off. So what is going on with the complaint that I've made years of complaints? So the one going for, so the one from the 18th, how long will it take them to respond to all the crimes committed to deprive me of food stamps?
It takes approximately 10 business days to resolve the complaint, but may take longer depending on the situation.
Okay, because it's been years, ma'am. I don't think you heard me. I contacted a ombudsman and a multitude of other avenues, sent faxes, and all parties covered for the crime with no remedy. Okay, so let's see what other con they have in store, ma'am. My whole day's been ruined. Calling hours. It's 2:02. I started this morning, but I got up early at 6:30, and then the lights were off. I mean, just chaos year after year. Okay, ma'am, let's see what they have in store now. So it's not easy, putting myself out here. I'm not one that typically enjoys putting myself on the line. That's why I don't like really being in pictures, and, I'm kind of a private person, and, it makes me uncomfortable to have to expose my life like this, but I'm doing it because I'd like to have a life. And I know I'm fully aware that you have to see my experiences to believe them. So I have to record everything. I don't think that I deserve this, or my family, whatever's going on. I don't think we deserve to continue to go through this. Not one day more. So let me call and see what the next con is they have in store.
Purpose is a federal crime. To report fraud, visit www.usda.gov/OIG/hotline.htm or call 1-800-424-6184. To hear that again, press 1.
My name is Arista. Please provide your full social security number so that I may assist you.
How long does the system go back for expunged payments? How long does your system go back? Does it go back?
What do you mean?
Does it go back to 2018?
What do you mean by expunged payments, ma'am?
Do you know, are you aware of expunged payments, or how the government takes payments back that they put on cards?
So if the payment isn't, or if the benefits are not used within 1 year, then they take the benefits off.
Okay, so how long does your system go back?
We can only go back as far as 90 days.
90 days. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I was told that some payments were expunged.
So the only one I can see on my end, there was an expunged payment or a deleted payment that was aged off in August of last year, and that's the only one I can see.
Okay, because they told me they create problems just to ruin my day.
I'm so sorry, ma'am.
And to
wish there was
deflect
more I
on,
could
I
do
mean,
to
it's
assist you.
happened years. No one's reckoned up these felonies. So you saw that, what, can you repeat what you just said?
Yes, ma'am. So the only one I can see that aged off or was deleted was back in August of last year, so August 15th of 2021.
Okay, and how much was that?
That was $18.08 that was taken away.
Okay, it was aged off in August.
It says deleted. Usually it says aged off. Let me double check, ma'am.
So that meant I would have had the benefits August of 2020?
It doesn't show me that far back, ma'am. It just says that's the only one I can see.
You're not making sense, ma'am. So if it aged off August of 2021, is that what you're stating?
Yes, ma'am. That's what it says.
Okay, so if it aged off, then that meant that I would have had the benefits August of 2022. Is that correct?
Let me double check, ma'am. Do you mind if I place you on a brief hold?
Yes, the Health and Human Services can't get their story straight. Okay, yes, ma'am. I can hold.
Thank you, ma'am.
Why would you need to check? If it takes a year for it to get off the card and it aged off August of 2021, then obviously it must have aged off. It must have been placed on there August of 2022. Not 2022, I'm sorry, I was frazzled. August of 2020. But she has to check. So they just got caught in a lie. Only $18 aged off. But there was $1,000 that came up missing. Because I had the payment supposedly August of 2019. Then they aged off August of 2020. And then, I didn't receive those benefits. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the benefits that I showed that aged off or were deleted, they were aged off because the benefits hadn't been used in a year. So if you would like the benefits back,
ma'am, you placed me on hold for a lot of period of time, and I asked you if they were aged off. What date were they aged off?
They were aged off on August 15th of 2021.
Okay, so that meant that they must have been started at August 15th of 2020? That's what you put me on hold to figure out.
Yes, ma'am. I had to verify the information so that I can make sure I gave you the correct information.
So when did I apply? I didn't apply August 15th of 2020. I had just got out of jail on false charges. In fact, I was in jail 2 weeks. So how did I apply for benefits for it to even get aged off? When did I apply for benefits? To have anything on the card?
It doesn't tell me that information, ma'am. I can only go off of what I see.
Well, if there's fraud being committed, ma'am, I need to report that. Can I report that with you?
I wouldn't be able to report the fraud, ma'am. I can refer you back to 211 and they would be able to.
They won't take it, ma'am. No one will take it. They won't take the fraud. Obviously, it's happening and multiple parties, conspirators behind it. So it aged off August of 2021. And that meant that I had to have applied somewhere between August. The last time I had benefits, they wouldn't give me benefits, period. They had concocted that I needed to have a job and some kind of other con they had to where I couldn't get benefits and would not even do anything regarding the benefits that were stolen. And no one will tell me. I've tried to get law enforcement involved, Health and Human Services. They will not tell me. They gave me paperwork at the Tyler location stating that someone had spent it off my card. I tried to report it to the police. They wouldn't take it, or Health and Human Services. So then after that, multiple conspirators got caught in that scam. Then they applied and said that it was abated off. But no one would give me any information, any evidence, period, which is criminal. So I'm telling you this at the Lone Star Help Desk, and you refer me to call back 211 that won't take the crime, and told me to call you.
So, ma'am, I can't report fraud that I can't see. I don't show that there's any benefits that were used on the account because I can only see back as far as transactions go. I can only see back as far as 90 days. This is
okay. So I've called the Lone Star Help Desk, and you say that you can only see far back as 90 days, but you saw something that happened in 2021. That's not 90 days. You're not being honest.
Transactions go,
I'm not asking for transactions. I'm asking for the expunged amount and how to get, because multiple parties are depriving me of that information as they've done years. I tried to get law enforcement involved, and they wouldn't.
Ma'am, I would have to refer you back to the state because I can only share what I can see on my end.
So you can see 2021. You can see 2021, and then you said it only goes back 3 months for transactions.
I can only see back as 90 days, as far as 90 days for transactions.
Okay, but we're talking about expungements. That's what I'm talking about. Things that were expunged.
Yes, ma'am. On the expunged one, the only one I can see is back in August of 2021. That's all I can see. I don't see any benefit history other than that.
Okay, so where do I go get it? Because I want to know what happened when they got expunged August of 2020, and they won't let me know how much.
You would have to go through the state, ma'am.
What avenue?
It's through 211, ma'am.
Okay, so can we escalate to a supervisor to see how far it goes back? They don't want me to know.
Yes, ma'am. Do you mind if I place you on a brief hold?
No, I don't mind at all. So what it is financial abuse. The government is enlisted in financial abuse, so they give me tickets, do all kinds of schemes to deprive me of funds, even to the degree of having stores overcharge me, try to keep my change. It's extreme financial abuse. Damage my property, have locations split my seat when I'm trying to get a detail, my leather seat, bend my windshield wiper blades when I'm trying to replace my blades. All this in the same day. I don't even know. I was told to hold on. I mean, there's so many things. I don't know what I'm holding on for. Is a representative available to inform you why she had me on hold?
Well, I mean, she had you on hold because she said that you requested a supervisor because I guess you weren't happy with the answers that she was giving you in terms of the benefits that aged off on your account.
Oh, that's what that I wasn't happy with it? Yes, she didn't tell you that there's fraud going on?
No, ma'am. She just told me that I guess she tried to help you as best as she could and that you also have to speak to a supervisor. So how can I help you?
Yes, I was reporting fraud. What's your name?
Her name is Arista.
Okay, and your position?
Oh, I'm sorry. You asking for her position or me?
Your position.
My name is David. Okay, I'm sorry. My name is David. I'm the floor supervisor.
Okay, do you have a direct extension or employee ID?
I do not. Yep, GC 218955.
Okay, so how long does it go back for benefits that were expunged? She said that she saw some that were expunged of 2021.
Okay, so what we can see up to 90 days. I do see that there was a deposit that was removed from your account in the amount of $92. It looks like this was expunged on 8/15 of 2021.
And the amount of how much?
$92.
Okay, so $92 was expunged off on August, what date?
15th of 2021.
August 15th of 2021. Okay, so when did I have the coverage or the benefits rather?
That I can't tell you, ma'am. Like I said, this is the only deposit record that I see from the last year is the one where they deleted it. I don't see anything past that because on our system, we actually only see up to 90 days on active accounts.
Well, the August is not 90 days of 2021. Is that 90 days?
Yes, ma'am. It's over a year ago. Right now, it's October 25th of 2022.
Right, but you said you only see it for 90 days.
Right. So, in other words, I can only see any current activity that was done in terms of any deposits or anything that happened in the last 90 days. The only thing that they're showing on your account is that they deleted this amount on your account from 8/15. I don't see anything past that. I don't see anything after that.
Okay, so what do we do to resolve it? Because it's like crimes are being committed. I mean, where do I go to get down to the bottom of these benefits that I don't know exist, and then why they, that's embezzlement is a crime. That's fraud. So how do all these missing documentation and all this missing information for years, how do we get, who has it?
It would be the state directly, ma'am. You would need to go into a local office or you would need to call 211.
Okay, so 211 should have it. What if they're claiming that they don't to enforce crimes? Do I need to just report the state for their fraud?
Well, I mean, there's not a reason why the state shouldn't have that record information, ma'am. And if 211 is telling you that they don't have it, then yeah, you would want to escalate with the state.
Okay, so what time frame can you go back? Because they haven't wanted me to know for years, and I went in person and they were covering for the crimes. So what number do I call to report the state and their fraud? And they can't get their story straight and have gotten away with all kinds of embezzlement and other crimes with no consequences. So I need to report the state and their criminal activity because, like I was telling someone else, my YouTube channel, people get locked up easily for fraud and committing crimes with food stamps. So I don't think the state should be above the law. If they want to commit crimes for profit, embezzle payments, paid child support, food stamps, any opportunities they can to commit fraud and theft, they need to be held accountable, just like anyone else would, even if it is the state. So what's the phone number to report the state's fraud and crimes?
For that, you would want to reach out to the Texas Attorney General.
Oh, there's a number to report fraud.
I'm sorry?
The number to report fraud is what I'm asking for.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If it's a fraud issue at the state level, you would want to reach out to
No,
the
sir, there's a number that you call to report fraud with the card. I don't know why you would deprive me of it. And refer me to Attorney General. Are you covering for the fraud? There is a fraud line where you can report fraud. It's not the Attorney General. It's with the Long Star card. Are you covering for the crime, sir?
Say again?
Are you covering for the crime? There's a number to report fraud, sir. I've had to endure this chaos years. I would like to report the fraud that the state is committing. So what's the number to report fraud?
And that's what I'm looking up for you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
The protocol that we have is for you to go to the Attorney General. You said you don't want to do that, so I'm trying to find out other information.
I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I don't have that right. I've already called them.
Okay, then hang tight and let me see if I can find an alternative.
Okay.
And that's what I'm working on.
I mean, like I said, every abuser's dream comes true, create conflict, no consequences. Did you find the number, sir?
It's 800-436-6184.
436-6184?
Correct, 800-436-6184.
I mean, every psycho's dream come true. I mean, not everybody can have the state embezzle funds from people with no consequences. Okay, so apparently the government is not going to let me progress. You know, it's hard when the government is your abusers. I don't know what to do. And let's see what crime the police have in store if they ever show up for the cyber crimes.